Hey guys, welcome back. Mavri here, today with another episode of Fumetsu no Anata. So, last episode was more or less wholesome, I guess you could say. Now, obviously, Gugu went through quite a lot of stuff, but I do think that at the end he did make peace with himself, and yeah, it looks like everything is just going upwards, right? And indeed, they also touched on all three of the things that I felt were key to this particular arc here, which is, the device in Gugu's stomach. It turns out to be some sort of alcoholic storage unit or something of that sort. That's one. The second one is the ring that Gugu got from Rean. And then, of course, the third one is Gugu's brother, right? So all three of these, they were mentioned, but I don't know. To me, it still feels very, very... it still feels very funny how these specific things are being mentioned, and I don't really think there's a resolution to all that yet. So I'm still keeping my prediction for now that maybe the conclusion of this arc has something to do with those things. And once again, I'm not exactly looking at. I'm not exactly predicting a happy ending here, if you will. So, with that in mind, let's get into this next episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Alright. Yay. Oh. Yep. Yeah, I don't really think there's too much else to say about this. I mean... Yeah, again, I don't really expect this to have like a happy ending or anything here. But who knows? Maybe they'll change things up, right? Actually, looking back at that scene, could that be no, never mind. I was wondering maybe it's Rin and Gugu all grown up or something of that sort, but... It's hard to tell, right? Because they interlace the scenes. Although I'm guessing if I watch a bit more closely, maybe I'll see what happens to Gugu and Rin. Well, I mean, that'd just be spoiling it for myself, right? So maybe let's not look too... Let's not look too much into it. That's funny. Although I feel like if word gets around that monsters... Huh. I would have guessed that there would be some negative reactions to everything. Someone's gonna be like, let's take down the monster. Oh, that was sudden. No. Yeah, go find some berries or something. Oh! Can that work? Yeah, now that huh, he did show that he could create spears from before, right? Huh. So he can just make it out of nothing? I mean, it's magic, so maybe let's not get too caught up in the details. Ah, the dog, right? Oh, Gugu's quick on the uptake. I guess he doesn't understand the concept of dead yet? Yeah. Hmm. But basically, what the narrator said was that as long as the perceptions, right, are are strong, as long as the feelings are strong, it doesn't necessarily have to be death. One day. No, so they're just servants in that family. Huh. So they actually, huh. Although it definitely changes some things, right? To know that he originally had a taste of that life. I don't think your time is up yet. What? Really? Okay, yeah. I was like, no, it doesn't feel like his time is up yet. He doesn't want to show his face. Well, he did save your life, Gugu. Come on. That's the reality. Although I'm still really curious why Rean's able to stay here for so long. You're different. Hmm? Although, how is... Huh. Safushi can sense that as well, eh? Just like that. Yeah. If only she knew he was the one who saved her life. Hmm. Alright. This is literally the definition of first world problems. I mean, I get it, alright? I get it. But still. Oh, come on, seriously. Can you be any more awkward, Gugu? Like, on one hand, you want to feel sympathetic for Gugu, right? But on the other hand, he's really not making this any easier for himself. Hmm. Okay. I do wonder what will happen if Gugu shows her his face. I can't help but feel it's not gonna go down too well. So where is he? Where's Fushi? No, still looking for the mask. Oh, there's narrator. Or God, or deity, or however you want to call it. Yeah. I don't know. This whole thing is so twisted. And even with all this supposed. This is so convoluted in a lot of ways, but I don't know. On one hand, it feels like it should be heartwarming, but on another hand, it just feels like I don't know. Is it just me? I feel like there's so many warning flags and warning signs firing off in all different directions. All right, here's that in front. Mm-hmm. Into the forest. Oh. Talk about convoluted added to convolution. I already feel like there's enough problems from the human side of things. And now from the supernatural side of things as well. Rawr. Well, hello there. Alright, see you guys after this. Well, guys, episode 9, how should we feel about this episode, right? Or I guess more specifically, how do I feel about this episode? I mean, I don't know. I mean, on a conceptual level, I can get what they're trying to say here. Rean, you know, she has her own perspective, she has a different upbringing and whatnot, and on the other hand, Gugu has his own perspective, he has his own separate upbringing, and I guess what they're trying to say here is that, you know, different perspectives do matter, right? Even though, you know, there is a certain absurdity to all of this, especially like Rean, how I described it as first world problems. I mean, those are exactly it, right? She comes from a wealthy family, she makes a big deal out of stuff that, you know, you really can't say. I mean, there has been no evidence so far as to how, you know, if she does come from a strict upbringing or whatnot. I mean, I'm Asian, alright? So, for me, like, a lot of this stuff is just like, heck, isn't that normal? Right? I mean, to be, you know, when you're in your youth and whatnot, to have different tutors trying to teach children different kinds of activities, you gotta learn some kind of music instrument, a piano or violin or something of that sort. You know, you gotta study, you gotta do all that stuff. Cram school culture is so common in Asia and whatnot, and, you know, all of that added together, I'm just like, heck, what the hell? Isn't that just normal life, right? And so on and so forth. And, you know, sure, you can understand, yeah, she wants that freedom and whatnot, but, you know, is that really worth making such a big fuss over? Especially since she hasn't even turned into an adult yet, right? She is literally still a child. So, I do feel like even though conceptually I understand what they're trying to say here, it's still very hard to sympathize with her point, right? Now, obviously, what the kind of common ground that Gugu and Rean have here, I'm presuming, is due to the fact that for Gugu, what he prioritizes above else is he wants the concept of a family, right? He wants family that loves him, whatever he is, and you know, to have someone who he can call a family, right? That's what his highest desire is, and in a way, that's also what Rean embodies as well, right? Even though it doesn't. You know, you can make argument that it's you know, you can look at it from different perspectives, but basically Rean believes that she doesn't fit into that world as well. She believes that her parents don't really love her, don't really care about her, they just care about her as a heir to the family or something of that sort, right? If she even has that sort of concept yet, because they're quite young here as well, right? So, sure, I can understand on that level, but once again, I'm not quite, you know, I highly doubt that many people would be able. Like, is it just me? I mean, I definitely can't really stand behind most of what Rean is saying. She sounds really just like a spoiled brat. That I'm just gonna say that's it, right? And especially on Gugu's side as well, you know, you're also thinking like why? I mean, it's not even the fact that he receives abuse, right? It's that he doesn't really make a stand for himself. I guess it's sort of trying to make some sort of social commentary on people in real life as well. Those who, you know, at the end of the day, there are some problems that stems from within them, but society as a whole just doesn't have a good way to embrace them, right? If you're looking at it from a more, you know, from a more loving and from a more how can I say, positive perspective. But, you know, if you bring out the cynical part of me, and do believe me, I am quite cynical in a lot of this stuff. If you've been watching up to this point, you should know that by now. You know, you can't help but to feel like sometimes, Gugu, you gotta just stand up for yourself, right? Like, what is there to, you know, he refuted Rean a few times here, right? And that's great, right? But, like, talking about the wound and whatnot, and, like, why can't he just come out and say it, right? It's just, like, I get it. He has his own problems, you know, he has his own things that he needs to consider and whatnot, but definitely you kind of want to just shake him and go, like, why are you doing this to yourself, right? Because I do feel like a lot of the problems that he had, No, I already said that from the last episode, right? To me, the thing most monstrous about him is not in the fact that his face or whatnot. Although I'm sure it's pretty horrifying to look at. I mean, and for my entire for my entire thinking on that part, do look at last episode where I talk at length about how sometimes this is just human nature and so on and so forth. But to me, the most inhuman thing, right? Inhuman, aka monstrous thing about him is definitely his attitude towards life, right? It's just something that I can't quite get, right? It's not like some sort of benevolence, like some sort of universal benevolence or whatnot. He's not like some sort of Jesus character or anything of that sort. But it's just, it's so hard to process, like, how he exactly like, what he's exactly trying to do here, right? I guess in a sense, because family to him is the highest priority above everything else, that kind of explains why, even more so than himself, he prioritizes his own brother. For Rean, I guess he prioritizes love more than himself as well. Maybe, I'm not quite sure, but that kind of sort of stuff, right? But to me, it's just such a, it's such a inhuman kind of concept, the way that he acts when literally, I'm not saying the fact that you could give up your life for a loved one or for a family member, right? But it's more the fact that even under these kind of circumstances, even under these circumstances where you can't even really quite call them your family yet, he still acts this way, right? So I think that's what I'm getting at for this part here. But yeah, anyways, beyond that though, certainly, as I was cringing throughout the episode, right, I was thinking, to me, I didn't even think of any of those supernatural happenings that went on. Although the fact that the observer or the narrator came out probably should have been some warning sign, right? But instead, I was really thinking about the whole situation. Remember the one that I described to you guys like an episode or 2 episodes ago about how I feel like this is still going to end in tragedy and whatnot, right? There's still so many unknowns here, right? Like, for instance, how is Rin's family going to react to this entire situation? Would they view Gugu as some sort of threat to the family and whatnot, right? Would they try and eliminate him in a way, a bad influence on their daughter, or heck, maybe even mistaking him as some sort of bad character who's trying to abduct their daughter or something of that sort, right? Is it going to be that kind of situation? We still have not allowed Rin to fully look at Gugu's face yet. I mean, I don't think they're gonna go like that far rude as to say that Rean would be absolutely disgusting and whatnot, and that would like completely break Gugu's heart or something of that sort. I don't know. I think it's not that cruel to that kind of point, but I don't know, man. To me, that's definitely still one big question mark hanging over everything, even with all the rosy stuff that we're seeing in this episode here. And it seems that we're making some progress understanding each other and feeling for each other and whatnot. And the true test has yet to come. That's what I'm saying here, right? So that entire part dealing with just the human side of things is already, to me, giving off a lot of warning signals and warning flags. And now we have the supernatural stuff as well. Yeesh. I mean, sure, I guess in this perspective, Gugu is going to do his utmost best to try and save Fushi, especially since he considers Fushi family at this point. Even going to try and sacrifice himself. I don't think that would actually happen, though. Again, I feel like if there's any kind of bad end that's coming to Gugu, I would still expect it to be something from the human side of things and not the supernatural side of things. But we'll see about that, right? We shall see about that. So yeah, and that's it for this episode, and do let me know what your guys' thoughts on Rean is, and her entire perspective, and so on and so forth. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm trying to keep an open mind about all of this, but at the end of the day, all I can say is kids will be kids, right? That's all I can say about this. So yeah, thank you guys, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.